everyone. Welcome to Spirit Switchboard. I'm your host, Carrie Lynn Shellhorn, and you are listening to us live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 in the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. If you'd like to check out more of what UPRN has to offer, you can head to uprntalkradio.com and find out more about the hosts, the shows, things that are going on. Where it is we're getting an update on the website, potentially a merch store, all kinds of things to check out. There are thousands of archives. There is something for everyone. So uprntalkradio.com. Thanks so much, everybody, for hanging out and being here. Very excited about today's show. So it's my friend, my sweet friend, Joni Templeton-Skinner, who's hanging out with us today. And she is always so kind and patient with this squirrel and rebel that I am. Because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And it's been a weird week. I don't know how everybody else has been doing with this Pisces and Pisces energy that's going on, but I have just been tired and not sleeping all at the same time. So we're going to talk about some of that stuff with Joni this week. So I'm going to bring her out. So Joni Templeton-Skinner, my sweet friend.
Hello, friends. Hi,
True
friends.
Crime Mysteries Beyond the Veil with Rift Nation Network.
Yep.
Forensic astrologist.
Yep.
What else am I missing?
So this Piscean energy is gone. If that's what's kicking your rear end, is that make a long story short, you have a moon in Pisces right now. You got to be super intuitive and super dreams. Because the moon, the new moon was hitting the lunar nodes all in Pisces. End of a cycle. That was like 2 nights ago. Now we've hit Aries.
So what, Aries energy or still Pisces?
Girl, we are in so much air. Aries is on point right now. It's coming. It's here today. If you're an Aries or an Aries rising, Aries moon, you feel you can't sit still. It's jittery. But a couple nights ago, I was so tired I couldn't stand it. And that was that Pisces. And
yeah.
Like, oh, here we go. I couldn't sleep.
No, I was wide awake. Hardly any sleep every night this week until last night was a little bit better.
Well,
I was probably snoring so tired. I was probably snoring loud enough to keep the neighbors awake.
You probably had your mouth open. You're doing that mouth open snoring. And then you wake yourself up.
Nobody was here to complain about it. I had to babysit my granddaughter too, so I let her have my bed and I slept on the couch with the dogs. So the dogs didn't say anything about it.
Well, see, the dogs make, my cat makes noises too in the middle of the night. You can tell either she's dreaming or she like talks, but it's not talking, but it's like, she like cat noises in her sleep.
I like that though. You know what? Even my granddaughter was having weird dreams.
Yes.
Weird dreams.
I just found this out today, and you and I, we did not talk about July 19th because I have been so focused on getting people through January, February, now March, now April. May looks like we can, May is a little bit of a downtime. June and July, we amp up. And I've always told Keith this. Keith, I go on Keith's show every other.
So let's tell everybody what it is. So Keith Otter's Den. The Otter's Den on the Rift Nation Network. Yeah. Monday nights. Monday nights.
And we talk about astrology and what's happening now. And I'm like, I've said this all year. I've said, if we can get to August, we'll be fine.
I tell that to all my clients, even to like my friend Joni. I always say, my friend Joni. My friend Joni says if we can survive till August, we'll be good. Just tough it out, do what you need to do
Yeah.
to stay grounded and hydrated, snacks in your pocket, and stay away from the toxic people.
I really haven't looked at August that close. I just kind of made it up. No, I'm kidding. Because I figure we've got one of the transits that we've already gotten through has been 8,000 years old.
Right.
We made it. July 19th is 14,000 years old.
It's wild.
So if we can make it through a 14,000-year-old transit, we can make it to August.
Okay, so for folks that are not astrology savvy, explain what a transit is.
Okay. So I'll show you. I'll give you an idea. This is what like a natal chart is. Okay. So when you are born, the sky stops on the day of your birth. The minute that you're born, it's like a snapshot, right?
Yeah.
So that's uniquely you. And I know twins are kind of different. That's a whole different thing with astrology. But what happens is your natal chart does not move. So when you're born, it will be like that and it won't move, right? This is actually April 3rd. But what happens is the planets that are in constant motion, they're still moving, right? So we've got a natal chart and the planets are moving around your natal chart, interacting with your birth planets. So the transit planets, which are moving, are talking to your natal chart. That's astrology. So 2026 was one of those years that nobody knows what's going to happen. I was just listening to Rick Levin, who's like my favorite astrologer.
Yeah.
Merlin, I've decades. I have followed Merlin. He's the best. And he's like, if any astrologer, any psychic, anybody out there tells you they know what's going to happen this year, they don't.
That's true.
It is true. It's a crapshoot because there are things happening up in the heavens that we have never seen.
Mm-hmm.
8,000 years, 14,000 years. The one coming up, 1504, was 1504. So
I tell people. So my friend Joni says this is biblical, folks. Strap into the roller coaster because it's going to be a ride.
I was just listening to him and he said, buckle up.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Buckle up.
So, but I have found, and you correct me if maybe you're not having the same experience. And folks in the chat, I'm not ignoring you. I'm going to say hello to you guys in a second and bring you all up and thank you for being here. But I'd love to know about your experience too in the folks in the chat. Like I know that we're saying buckle in, right? Buckle in.
Yes.
We don't know what's going on, but I have found this year has been like the best year that I've had ever in like decades. And there's still the dumpster fires around me, but I'm staying very grounded and centered, and it's sort of rippling around me, not directly at me.
That's how you have to look at it, because all of the interactions that we are seeing up there, and remember, astrology is based, it's not predicting the future. It's studying past patterns that were up in the skies. Let's say, for example, what happened the last time Jupiter and Saturn were together in the skies? What happened? 1989, the Berlin Wall fell. Look what's happening with Iran. Look at what's happening with Venezuela. And that's the truth. Last time was 1989. So we look at past patterns. We knew governments would fall because it just happens. Pattern after pattern. all of what we're seeing in the skies is harmony. They're very harmonious.
Yeah.
Now, will it shake us? Absolutely, because it's change. See?
But it's the big institutions that are changing.
Yes.
The big organizations that are being uprooted, and then those people who are lagging behind, staying stuck in the muck, and not necessarily having accountability, their hidden stuff is coming to the surface. Like,
yes. Well, what's happened is we have the outer planets, and then we have what we call personal planets. You hear about Mercury retrograde, Venus, Mars. Those are what we call personal planets. Those affect us in our personal. The energy is more pronounced in our personal lives. We have the outer planets. So we have Saturn, we have Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and we still count Pluto as a planet. They affect globally. They affect the collective. All of the changes that we're seeing in 2026 are with the collective, the outer planets. So this is, like you say, it's a collective thing. So if you rise above the chaos and look down into it, as opposed to being in the middle of the chaos, you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, that's the approach that I've taken.
You have to. I mean, because people are. I think people don't know what's happening. They know change is here. They know that something's going on, but they don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can feel it.
Well, and it's the high intention, low attachment, and have no expectation, right? You cannot try to control everything that's going on around you. So what do you have control over? Right. And staying grounded and centered. So it's still, to me, it's that knowing your core belief system, right? And having personal accountability, and then just staying out of the chaos.
And then you just got to let the chips fall.
That's right. James, thanks so much for being here. Wiz in the room. Happy first day of spring. Happy first day of spring to you. And I'm so glad to see you here. Thank you.
It's Spring Equinox. I'm so glad it's spring.
Hi, Julie. Thank you so much for being here. Kiara Jade, thank you for being here. Hi, Michelle. So she is saying crazy dreams. Denise Mitz, I have not forgot about you, so we are going to make that appointment. We're going to get together and chat, you and I. So she's saying, woot woot, happy Friday, happy spring, hello all. Kara Jade is saying, I've got a chart like that for me and both my kids. Now, I saw you also make a comment saying, I just don't know how to read it. So if you look along, and those people who are our audio listeners, along the bottom, Joni has a Facebook group called Astrology, the Series. Yes. And so you can join that group, and there's lots of people that are learning through Joni and the other people that are part of the chat. Everyone supports each other in such a beautiful way in that group, and it's a good place to learn.
And I do a mini session once a month.
Yeah.
And for example, everybody will bring in their chart with them. We do it via Zoom. And it's just like, how is April and May going to affect my own personal chart?
Yeah.
Where are the planets going to be? Like right now, if you look on your chart and you have a natal chart, look to where Aries is. Look where Aries is in your chart. That's where in April, all the energy is going to be really, really pointed at.
So for people that haven't done their natal chart yet and wanting to see where Aries would be on their natal chart, where would you direct them? The best place to direct them?
I would say the best place, you can go to astro.com. There are a lot of free websites, Cafe Astrology, AstroSeek. I like astro.com, and it will literally walk you through putting in your time of birth, your birthday, and your place of birth, and your chart will pop up.
And if you don't know your time of day, what do you do?
Just PM me, because it's a process. We have to figure it out. Nor you can do a lot of things, but best thing to do, PM me, because a lot of people don't know their time of birth.
Yeah.
First of all, get your birth certificate, because it should be somewhere on there.
Right.
I mean, now some of ours are. They don't do babies' footprints anymore, do they? Do you remember that? Is that a America thing?
I don't know anybody, my friends, my Canadian friends, or even I saw Mish Australia. Do they still do that? I don't remember getting that with my kiddos, and my oldest will be 32 this year.
My kids, we didn't do it with my kids either. But on that little thing where my baby's feet are, that's where my time of birth is.
Oh, interesting.
But it's not my birth certificate.
Gotcha.
Weird.
Heidi Gold, thank you so much for being here, and thanks for sharing us out and being such a great supporter of UPRN. She's driving and listening. Stephanie Malo. Stephanie is author of Stopping to Smell the Flowers. Stephanie and I are doing an equinox workshop tomorrow together. So that is going to be fun. She's saying, looking forward to learning more about astrology tonight.
Anything from now all through, going through March and into all of April, the energy is going to be phenomenal, because it's all Aries. I think at one point we're going to have 8 planets in Aries. I've never seen it. I know. Wow. I've never seen that.
And that's a kick in the rump stuff, right? Like, get you moving. You can't sit still, right? That's Aries energy. Is that right?
Yes. Aries is the starter. Aries is it's the creator. It's the beginning of the zodiac, like it's spring. It's a great time to start projects. I think the biggest thing to kind of look out for with Aries is don't burn yourself out, because you're going to go and you're going to go and you're going to feel a lot of energy,
right?
Physical energy, which is great.
Carrie is chiming in. Hi, Carrie. She's saying hello, my star family.
It's almost like an overload of energy. So just be mindful of that, and don't overdo it if you're doing physical exercise. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you just go and go, because it's 8. I've never seen 8 ever.
I like that it's an 8. That's like the infinity loop, right? The infinity.
I like the extra energy boost. It's like a power drink, you know? It's like an energy drink.
James saying, good evening, ladies. Looking forward to hearing how things are playing out this year. Mish is chiming in from Australia. Hi, Mish. Thanks for being here. Sherry Madigan, thank you so much for being here. Lena, I was thinking about you today. Hello, thank you so much for being here. Carrie is sharing, I was in a galactic meeting last week, very positive, in our favor of the universe. They are very much helping us behind the scenes. Big strategic plays, right? Not that is why the energy is crazy. After the chaos, Denise is saying, after the chaos, and August is I don't know.
I know. I'm a little excited about it, because it's something we need. I think it's just a total reset. I'm guessing that, because we don't know.
So, that's interesting, James. So Wiz is saying his birthday is April 23rd. Didn't we do a chart for you, James? I think that we did.
Aries.
We looked it up for you, because we were looking up what your rising sign and your moon sign.
I think we did too.
Yeah.
Didn't we? With Aries. I think anybody with Aries rising, which there were three big categories. You've got your sun sign, which we all know what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got your moon sign. Your moon is that's your emotions, how you handle things, your emotional world. And then we have what's called your rising sign. That's your first house. That's your personality. That's what people see. Sometimes that can be the mask that we wear. So you've got your rising, your sun, and your moon. Those are your three big ones.
Misha's sharing. So I'm thinking with the world going the way it is, God needed Chuck Norris. Everything will work out. I was kind of shocked to see that today, and it was.
I didn't even. He was apparently in the hospital, but I didn't know he was ill.
I thought it said medical emergency, but I mean, I only just read it really briefly before coming in to start the show. So
yeah, he was 85, 86?
86, yeah.
I mean, everything is very harmonious. So, like I said, it's change. It's crazy patterns. I want to hear what you have heard about July 19th.
That it's the start of the period. It's the harmonious, no awakened, enlightened. It's the reset.
I mean, how do people know that?
I don't know.
I mean,
whoever they are, that they are channeling. I don't know what.
Are they channelers, or is that what people that are like channeling and like what are they? They're people that, what are they called? Not channelers.
I don't know. That's what I know them. Mediums, other mediums.
Mediums. Yeah. So.
Oh, Heidi's birthday is July 19th.
Really?
Well, that's pretty cool, Heidi.
Oh, that's what is happening in the skies, and I think this is wrong. I'm not quite sure. We haven't seen this pattern we're at 14,000 years now. Happened 14,000 years ago, right? And I read today, Heidi, that if this is around degree signs of a 4, in which if that's your birthday, you're on the 4, it is life changes. So that's interesting that that's going to happen on your birthday. I mean, in a great way.
So that's kind of funny, but not funny. At the same time, she's saying her birthday twin is Lizzie Borden.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. But it's everything happening at the 4th degree, because astrology is math, and so it's all degrees, and the moon is in Libra, so the moon will be connecting this whole pattern in the sky. But I need to study it more. But like you say, great reset, whatever, great awakening, great whatever. I don't know. It's crazy. It'll be the 19th through the 24th mainly.
Through the 24th. Thanks for being here. I hope you have fun at the concert with your son. Feedback. Great thing that someone's mic is giving feedback. I'm not sure. I'm not hearing it from my end. Does it sound like feedback? I'm not sure how to handle that.
Is it my feedback or you feedback?
I don't think that there is for you. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. So that knocking could have just been me on my cup.
Probably.
Look how cute that is.
I love that. I love that.
Okay, so because I'm not on the astrology, I'm not as up on it, right? So I come to you to ask all those questions.
Yes.
Aries season. So are we still in eclipse season? Or are we out of eclipse season?
We're out now. It was early. We're out now. And this is for Leo and Aquarius coming up. Okay. When we have eclipses, we have what's called a north node and a south node. North Node is it's your soul contract. It's your destiny. It's what you came here to accomplish. Your South Node is karma, past lives, and what you came here to release, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only when the planets get around a North Node and the South Node do eclipses occur. They are currently in Pisces and Virgo, opposites. This year, they're shifting over to Leo and Aquarius. So the eclipses are going to start hitting Leo and Aquarius for the next 18 months.
And how do they hit Leo and Aquarius?
Well, it'll be where your sun, any planets that you've got in Leo, which I know you've got at least one, which is your sun, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And any other planets that are around your sun, that North Node will be traveling, and it's actually Leo is going to be the South Node. So things that we do within Leo that we need to release to point more towards the collective. So it just falls into line with the theme of 2026. It's all about the collective, service to others, being collective. That's just the entire theme. It's moving toward more Aquarian features. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does. It does. My Aquarian James is listening, so hopefully he's listening and checking on all of that. And
because Aquarius and Leo, opposites. You guys are opposites. Exactly. Yeah. But in a good way.
Yes. I'll show him his chart. The North Node, South Node.
North Node, South. Well, and that will be hitting his chart in the North Node section of it. It's when you have the North Node messing around where your sun is, it's wonderful. Absolutely phenomenal. You get a lot of things like, why am I here? What is my purpose? A lot of destined things, a lot of karmic things. I mean, it's just a lot. It's cool to have the North Node around that area of Aquarius in your chart. It'll be opposing your chart.
So I've got something. So Mish, Kiri, and who else has said that they were a Leo in there? And look at all those folks with partners that are Aquarius too.
What, a lot of Leo Aquariuses?
Yeah, Leo Aquarius matchups in here.
Which perfect.
I said to James, I'm going to be the one that'll be the irritating one in this. Like, it will be when you looked at when I did the chart and did them together. It's like all me. I'm going to just irritate. I'm going to be the trigger in all kinds of ways.
Oh, stop! No, you're not.
Oh yes.
Are you?
Yep.
Well.
For sure.
Aquarius is, they're the humanitarian of the zodiac. They, world events bother them. You know what I mean? Like, and if they see something like where there's an earthquake, like on some Pacific island, that would bother an Aquarius. An Aquarius is the humanitarian. They're the FEMA of the zodiac. They're the people that come, everybody's equal to them. They don't like rules. Nobody really should be a boss. Everybody should just get along. Mm-hmm. The humanitarians.
Yes. That's my sister. My sister, with her intuition, she always picks up like global events, train derailments, plane crashes, tsunamis. That's how her intuitive stuff kicks in for her. So she gets a lot of reads that way. And
I love that.
Maybe that's part of that Aquarius nature for her.
Is she an Aquarius?
My sister is, yeah.
They are. She's tuning. I would love to see that.
And both her children, 2 of her 3 children.
I wonder where her moon is. The moon placement is a lot of where your intuition is at. Bet she's got an Aquarius moon too, or a Scorpio moon, or a Cancer moon. That would be interesting. There's,
I'm writing notes so I can look it up later.
but I mean, we've made it through the huge things, kind of. It's just going to be very explosive, not in a bad way, all through April and May, because it's all this Aries. It's just a lot of Aries energy. It's a lot.
Eight planets, you said. 8 planets.
Yeah, it's a lot. But it'll be a time to get things done around your house. I mean, it's spring. Declutter, get stuff done.
Yes, James. Pretty interesting to hear about the Aquarian characteristics. Looking forward to seeing the chart. Did you hear what you just said too? Getting things done in the house.
Yeah.
My kitchen sink decided to break last night, so when
no. To fix it. I hope the pipes are okay.
Oh yeah. We're good.
Well, that's okay then.
It's just interesting that you said that, fixing things around the house.
As long as you didn't have a flood.
No flood.
Oh, thank God. But we've got that, and then we get through April, July. I'm looking at for the Canadian, our Canadian friends, the girls. I'm looking at Canada's chart because Canada is in Aries rising. I know. So Canada's going to have about 8 planets triggering their natal chart. See, countries have natal charts too.
So I've seen you do the American one, but I've missed the shows where you talk, because you've talked about Canada before on your show, and I missed that one. But you're looking at it now. So 8 planets in Aries, and Canada is an Aries chart.
Yes. So, and usually it's calm. You know what I mean? Calm. And Aries in the first house it's the mood of the country. What the people, it's the mood of how everybody's feeling in the country. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm looking at and you're also, you're in a Neptune, getting ready to go into a Neptune return in about a year or two. So there's a lot going on in Canada's chart.
What does Neptune return mean?
It means Neptune is back into its original spot in your chart when you were born. Canada was born in 1867, I think. I might be wrong on that time. I think it's 1867. And so Neptune, it took 100 and I don't know how many years to go all the way around the wheel to get where it returned to.
And what kind of energy does that bring?
Well, like for example,
Neptune.
Okay, for Neptune, it would be boundaries. It could be a change in borders, like the borders, dissolving borders. And I thought of those 2 states that want to leave. Remember that? And
our provinces.
States.
You're already calling them states.
Whatever they're called. States, provinces. Is that what they're called? Provinces?
Yes.
Like little mini. Okay, the provinces. But it won't be for a couple of years. But that could be boundaries dissolving. It could be a really a nice.
I know, Carrie. Carrie's in Alberta. It was Alberta that was.
The Alberta. Yeah. It's not for a couple of years. But you got to remember, and I looked at these charts, where Alberta goes, Saskatchewan goes, because they have the same chart. They're twins. Yes, they're twins.
That has to be odd. That has to be rare.
It's very rare. I can tell you what happened. Like in the United States, we had the Pluto return, right?
Yeah.
And we had the Pluto return. Pluto stays in a house for 30 years. And it really just transformed and took down our entire system, what wasn't working. But with your Neptune return in Canada, I really have to look it up because it's hitting your ascendant. Boom. Boom.
Thanks for popping in and saying hi. We did a shout out for the Otter's Den.
Yeah. A lot of that could be boundaries. Delusion is gone. You know, sometimes
Neptune happening.
Well, Neptune and Pisces for the past 13 years, it was a lot of illusion, a lot of delusion. We didn't know what was up and what was down.
Well, I think we still come.
That's gone because everything's in Aries now. 13 years.
Mish is asking, curious, Joni, have you ever done an Australian chart, or the Australia chart?
No, but I will. I wonder when do you know when the birthday is? I can look it up. It would be interesting.
And there's no paddle, and the creek looks brown.
You know, the best Mish, the best forensic astrologer in the entire world. She's Australian, and it's so hard for me to chat with her because we're opposite times. But she is, I don't know her book. There's the book. She's the best forensic astrologer in the world, Kirsty McIntosh, and I just adore her.
Yeah. You talk about her quite a bit, and you promote her book. Do you have her book with you?
I do. I have her book with me. Look. Is it backwards?
Nope, you're good. The Forensic Astrology Workbook.
Yeah, workbook.
You can get it off of Amazon.
Yeah, and Kirsty is from Australia. She has solved a lot of cases, but she taught me, I mean, crap, years, I don't know how long ago. And, you know, we had an incident last Friday where my phone went off and we have what's like an Amber Alert, and it came on our televisions. A little girl went missing Carrie, a mile from my house.
Oh.
1 mile. 9-year-old little girl. We were flipping out. Do you know how many people came and volunteered and helped search for her? In my little town, 2,000 people showed up. We had different states, fire departments. We had 4 choppers in the sky. I'm not kidding.
Was she found?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
No, she, you know, we have a lot of ponds and a lot of lakes. And she had gotten away from her mom. She was nonverbal and she was autistic. And apparently, you know, autistic children gravitate toward water. Apparently, you know, that's what the moms say. And she was in the lake. So it was very, very sad.
They're runners. Like when they get away, they take off.
You know, I think every mom where we've had toddlers or kids, you can turn your head and within seconds, a child can be gone.
That's very tragic. That's very tragic.
Oh, it was so tragic. But
okay.
Yeah.
Carrie is saying that's fascinating, decoding the charts on territories and land readings. Agreed.
It is.
You've done the United States a few times as well too. Mish is saying not sure what birthday Australia would have.
I'll look it up. You know, I have done a lot on the United States, and it's very, very, it's been spot on. It's so spot on. Now, Canada, I like that Aries. It's almost like you know, I don't know. Canada is with Britain, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what'll happen. Maybe you'll leave Britain. I don't know.
So that's always been a little bit of there's been some chatter in the past about that as well. Not being.
I mean, do they really have anything to do with your laws and stuff? Not really, right?
There's I don't know.
I mean, do they really? Isn't it more like the monarchy is like like Princess Kate and them just kind of like do dinners and stuff. I don't know. What do they do? Like they have state dinners. I know Kate dresses beautifully.
She's pretty tiny.
I know.
She looks like the wind would blow her away.
God love her. She was sick.
Did you do her chart?
Yes, I did. I did do her chart right when we found out. We did it in a mini session, and she's a Capricorn. And I'll never forget. Denise might remember this, but she had a lot going on in her 6th house, which was health, and it was rough. But people get through things. She's strong. Look how strong she is. She got through it.
Everyone seems to really love her. Australia may be January 1st, 1901.
Yeah, I'll research it too. You can find out. Australia. I would love. Australia's got to be beautiful.
So Jackie, thank you so much, Jackie White. Hi, Joni and Carrie Lynn, loving the show tonight. I love my Aquarian partner. Love him. He gets shite done. He's funny as all get out. So good for my Pisces fans. So yeah,
yes,
I would agree with that. We just had that conversation about being funny and getting shite done. I think my Aquarian is brilliant.
Aquarians they chat. They like to talk. They chat too. They're little chatterboxes. Interesting stories, and
lots of stories.
They don't. What I like about Aquarius is they don't look back. They don't dwell on the past. It's like, let's look forward. Let's get this done, and they always look toward the future. Some people just kind of hang on to the past and like cling on to it. Aquarians normally do not do that. They're too busy looking forward.
People don't realize a lot of the anxiety that is from staying stuck in the past or trying to control what the future is. So really staying in the present helps with some of those anxiety issues, right?
Yeah. I mean, and I think too, a lot of time, fear causes that, and the not knowing. And that's why I love astrology, because we can look at the patterns and like, for example, we know now that the energy in April is going to be off the cuff.
So what does that mean? Like when we tell somebody, so people who tend to be fear mode first, people who, get too caught up in the Chihuahua brain would hear April's going to be off the cuff, are going to go into panic mode and buy up all the toilet paper at the grocery store again. Yeah. So what does that mean, energy being off the cuff?
Well, the thing about it is Aries is, just like Leo, Aries is a fire sign. Sagittarius is a fire sign. They're faster moving. They're bold. Aries especially is impulsive. So people that are not normally impulsive, this energy is going to be out in the collective. This is 2 outer planets. It's huge. Even people that kind of like a Virgo or a Gemini, that they want to know how this works or operates, the impulsive nature comes through a little bit more. So it can be very helpful if it doesn't. But like you say, people that are like squirrel and it gets in their head, they just have to remember, okay, I need to step back away from this situation. If I feel like my head is spinning, what do you do normally to calm that down?
That's what I'm finding with the way that we're at. Once we got past, I would say end of February for sure. By the time we got to the end of February, beginning of March, it was starting to feel calmer, where it was less holding your breath, right, and trying to less survival mode. Feel with that energy. and being able to put your tools into place. So those people who don't have the tools, scrambling a whole lot more than the people who have the tools.
That's
So
right.
that's that consciousness awakening, people awakening and having accountability and looking for those tools. I just wanted to bring up, Mish, you have not said anything wrong. No, no, no. Australia is beautiful. However, things are changing. We have people getting jail times for thought crimes and saying things that are suddenly wrong. Example,
What's a
kids
thought
say
crime?
river and then add to the sea. I honestly don't understand.
That's crazy. That's great. I'll look for you. I'll look.
So
That's crazy.
here is sharing. My mom was Aquarian. That definitely does not describe her, but
Okay.
would it depend on her rising sign too, though?
Yes. More than likely, and like I said, rising. The sun is your main it's a luminary actually, but it's your main structure. It's yourself. But then again, we've got your emotions, which is your moon, and then your personality, how the world sees you is your rising sign. It's kind of a culmination of everything. So she may have a very strong, I'll tell you what, I'll give you an example. My mom was a Libra sun. She had zero Libra traits. And then when I finally looked at her chart, she had a Capricorn. She was all Capricorn. So all of that Capricorn energy kind of just it drowned out the Libra.
I don't know what is Capricorn energy because I don't know I don't have any Capricorns in my.
Capricorn is like if I were to, let's say I had a multi-million-dollar company to run, the Capricorn would be my CEO. Definitely, the Capricorn would run my multi-million-dollar business. They're an earth sign. They have very dry humor, but they work. And they love their careers. They love to work. Um, but they're an earth sign. They're earthy. They're down, earthy people are very grounded. So if you've got like an air sign where they're usually the gerbils, running around the gerbil wheel, going all over the place, talking 100 miles an hour, where the earth people are like, now wait, they ground, they have budgets, they keep their money straight. They know, like, they can't understand why like a Libra or an air sign can't balance, doesn't keep their checkbook balanced.
Right.
And you don't write a list. What do you mean you don't write lists? But Capricorn,
Like Earth people, I've always thought are the people that show up early and set the chairs up and make coffee for folks.
that's right.
And then the air folks, I've always like they have all the books but haven't read them. Like
Right.
the information seekers.
Well, the air signs will probably read the last page first and then decide whether or not, oh, do I really want to read this? But they're avid readers.
Yes.
They're avid readers, and they're constantly studying something. The air signs are, and they're talkers. They're very social people.
Mhm.
And then you've got your fire signs, which are, here I am, and they do. You can spot a Leo or a Sagittarius, usually an Aries too, when they walk in the door. You spot them.
That's you, Ms. Mary Jane.
That's what people always think that Libra, because that's the sign of marriage and relationships, that they are the highest divorced in the zodiac, but it's actually Sagittarius.
Highest divorced?
Highest divorce. Yeah. I didn't know that. I don't know because they're fun. They're the fun. If you want to have a great party, like a Christmas party, invite Sagittarius, people that are born in November and December, beginning of December. Invite Sagittarians.
The Sag, not the Scorpio beginning of the month, the middle end of the month.
Yeah, if you want to stalk somebody and creep them and see what's going on, like like if you're thinking about dating somebody and you want to creep them and say what, that's your Scorpio friend. They're the detectives. They are the detectives. They have to know how everything works. I know it's super interesting, isn't it?
So I'm Scorpio moon.
Well, that's intuitive. It's intensity. It's intense. Scorpios are very intense. They usually, anytime you see somebody with Scorpio characteristics, whether it's a moon or a rising, they usually have very piercing blue eyes. I know it's crazy, but we're all so unique in a lot of ways too. Yes. What fun. I would to have a Sagittarius dad. You would get away with murder. You would get away with anything. They would be the fun dad.
So how does free will play into astrology then?
This is my dilemma. I do forensic astrology, so I always look at true crime and charts of people that have unalived themselves. So we talk about free will. I think the astrology, if you study astrology and you look at things that are in your chart that you have to work on, that can be, everything's all about balance in your life. And you have all the free will to make your decisions. The planets and that energy certainly don't rule you. You make the ultimate decision. Now, decisions can have consequences, So, but your free will is your free will. But I don't know, because there seems like there are certain opportunities for, and you would know this better than I would, as a medium, that I think so. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this. I'm just guessing from looking at charts, forensic charts, not normal charts.
Okay.
That a soul can elect. It's like, okay, the door's open at this particular time. That's when I'm going to check out.
So from my perspective and experience to this point, I feel it's like a choose your own adventure story. So we can get to a certain point and we get to either turn to page 32 or, turn to page 101. So we have points in time where there's potential for us to exit. And
yep.
Yeah, that's how I feel. And we can alter based on free will.
And that's your choice.
Yeah.
And
from my perspective to this point.
I mean,
Nick is asking a great question. She said, is it free will or doing the planned path, which is like free will? So, and that's an interesting way to phrase that too, right? So yes. when you're in alignment with the universe and your path and purpose, and when you are not, and is that is alignment that planned free will?
That's a great question, because of the fact that you can look at an astrology chart and see the pattern. Or here's a great example. That chart was formed the minute you were born, correct? So how can you look at a natal chart and say, well, this is why she was a famous model? And maybe it's just, like you say, free will, or is it a plan before you incarnate? This is kind of where I'd like my life to be. you know.
Yeah, and then so this is where my head goes all over the place too, because you have people talking about tapping into your Akashic record and shifting your timeline. So again, then we're making a choice and using free will to not head down that path, or we're tapping into our Akashic record and the information so we can shift and change it. So how much is
I I guess we'll find out someday, because um, the show we just did a chart on a model. She was a world famous model. On Wednesday, we looked at her chart. Well, up in the top of a chart, at the top of a chart is called a midheaven. So it's up here at the 10th house. It's called your midheaven, right? So that's what the public sees. Leaders of countries always have packed 10th and 11th houses. Now, this particular model, she was a beautiful Russian model, beautiful girl. Her son was sitting right on her midheaven. So I would have looked at her chart when she was born and said, she could be famous, very, very famous someday. And of course, she was a model. So her Venus, which is fashion, beauty, was in Taurus, ruler of Venus. So she had everything at the time she was born was mapped out where she could achieve greatness and being famous as a model. But what if she would elected to become a doctor,
mhm.
right? So where does your free will stop? I don't know. It's a
I
great
don't think we're
question.
going to know all the answers anyway. I think
No.
it has to stay a mystery so we can figure, like, we get to learn it later.
Well, it's kind of a fun tinfoil hat to put on, because it's interesting stuff, don't you think?
Yes. And I like just having the conversation where we don't have to get heated about it. And I'm no expert. Like, I don't claim to be an expert with it. I'm still learning as I go too.
I love to hear what people think, because
Yes,
it's all over the astrology. You can see it. But what somebody elects to do is another thing.
that's right. Carrie is sharing, speaking from personal discovery, I had a free will. I had free will to choose, but if it's not what my soul planned, it was catastrophic. Yeah, it knocks you
Yeah.
off alignment. I could not manifest anything not being on my path. I'm now realigning. And I agree with you, Carrie. I am exactly the same way. If I get knocked off kilter, I can watch things start to fall apart really quickly. And then I've got those tools and I can get back in alignment. And then it just starts manifesting really, really quickly. And I think that's what people are having that awakening to when they're in alignment. Thoughts, words, deeds, actions, all in alignment in that higher frequency, understanding that we're connected to that collective consciousness of one. So all of our choices ripple out collectively, and how fast we can be manifesting in this point in time. Like, um, yeah, how fast.
There's a study of astrology called draconic astrology. Now, this can be a little bit. Some people believe in this and some do not. But the study is that when you, in the very beginning, let's say however many lifetimes, and this is all reincarnation based, but your soul has a chart, and that chart is called a draconic chart. Your soul. And every time you incarnate, you get a different natal chart that it talks to that draconic chart.
How do you discover that?
Oh, you can just go do a chart. So, for example, I've always related to Scorpio stuff, like true crime. I've always loved it. And I'm like, I don't have any. Well, my Scorpio and Neptune, but Neptune and Scorpio. But I thought I don't have a lot of Scorpio in my chart, not Sun, Moon, or Rising. When I did my draconic chart, guess what? Scorpio rising. So my soul, if I believed in draconic astrology, my soul, which would be my higher mind, is a Scorpio rising. I came into this incarnation as an Aries rising.
So when we do our natal chart, we are looking at where we were born, our birth time, the birth date. When you do draconic, what parameters are you putting in, like, to figure that out, like for your soul chart?
Well, because in astrology, it is what is called the 0 degree of Aries is the beginning, which is what we just hit with this Saturn and Neptune. Everybody's north node is at 0 degree of Aries. But you can, on AstroSeek, you can get a draconic chart made, and
it just prompts you whatever information.
Yeah, there's a prompt for draconic chart, and you only read conjunctions, which mean 2 planets are together, and oppositions. That's it.
And oppositions being
180 degrees apart, learning, and a conjunction is when they're together. So that you read the chart a little bit differently, but it can give you a little bit of insight on things that, I don't have the answer to, because it's supposed to be your soul's chart. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy, but I have a feeling like once you see it, then it's the light bulb moment, like you said, right?
Yes.
Like, of course.
It was a complete light bulb moment, because my dad was a Taurus, and I love Taurus people. I actually rotate to Taurus people, for some reason, and I could never figure it out. And I always said, because my dad was a Taurus. That's what I always based that on. Well, I looked at my draconic chart. Everything, sun, everything was in Taurus.
Interesting.
So it's like you say, it's a lot of
And I just want to.
Now I'm going to do a mini session on draconic chart. Probably I'll do it like when we get like a downtime, like in May and June. And it'll only be about an hour mini session. It's not hard to explain it to people.
And if you're wanting to be a part of it, you head to Facebook and you join the group. You ask to join the group, Astrology Series.
We'll do it as a Zoom meeting, a little Zoom hour get together.
I'm just going to do our station ID really quickly. Thank you, Wiz, for reminding me. I appreciate that you watch the clock for me and give me those reminders so we don't get into trouble. So if you are just joining us now, thank you so much for being here. You are listening to Spirit Switchboard. I'm your host, and you are listening to us live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 in the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. If you would like to check out more of what UPRN has to offer, access all of the thousands of archives, check out the hosts and shows, you can head to uprntalkradio.com. Everything is there. It's not all high strangeness and paranormal. There is something for everyone. Today's guest is my friend, Joni Templeton-Skinner, who is a podcaster, forensic astrologer, has the podcast True Crime Mysteries Beyond the Veil on Wednesday evenings with the Rift Nation Network. And that's how, we met through Howie and the whole gang of folks, and watching the podcast, watching you do your show. I think you're amazing. I think you are amazing. What you do.
I just love forensic astrology, true crime, forensic astrology. And I think what is mind-boggling to me is with forensic astrology is the accuracy of how we can find people from the astrology.
So I want to talk to you about that, or I want you to share more about that in just one second. So James is asking a question, so I'm just going to bring it up.
Sure. Sure.
We're going to try to bring it up. There we go. Does the draconic chart let you know how old your soul is?
No. But that's a good question that I could research it, because draconic is so based on the beginning of when you were supposed to have started, which could be 8,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, however many thousand, who knows, right? So that is a good question. I don't think so.
So it's just tapping into your soul currently, that chart, right?
No, it's your soul from
the soul. It's not saying how old the soul is.
The beginning of your soul, the beginning of time. Draconic. That's what it's supposed to be. Now you could have what? How many? Like from 8,000 years ago.
How many incarnations?
How many incarnations do people usually have?
Yeah, I don't know. I just know I don't want to come back. No.
Neither is my list. I want this. My dad used to say, "This is going to be my last stand. I never want to come back." Like, I don't either. I don't either.
No.
I think it's going to be too fun.
On the other side?
Yeah. Don't you think?
So I feel that, I'm saying that from a place of ego, right? That I don't want to come back. But over there, it's so unconditionally loving that I'll just keep volunteering. That, from that place of unconditional love, that you end up volunteering to help or be a teacher or any of those sorts of things, even though we have free will. It's that unconditionally loving space, right?
A medium on a podcast said that souls were lining up to incarnate during this particular time frame from around 2020 to about 2026 or whatever, right? The time that we're in now, that souls were lining up to get here.
To be part of that new awakening.
To be part of whatever we're getting ready to go in.
Yeah.
I don't know, the Great Awakening, I don't know.
So I have also had other intuitive people in my circle say that was what our role was, is to lay the foundation and groundwork to push and to reconnect with one another from all the different points in the world, right? Like how you and I have met, and that we are lighting up the torches, which is laying that groundwork for the generation underneath.
Well, I don't think, and this is in the astrology as well, and I've said this forever, that, our founding fathers in America used astrology. They used it. It's documented, correct? So
didn't President Reagan's wife?
Yeah, she did too. Princess Diana had an astrologer. Her astrologer, yeah, they all did. They all do. I know they do. And so, I mean, I forgot what I was going to say.
So I did not pay attention to astrology because I would just read the little blurbs that come out like in a paper or whatever, and Cosmo magazine or whatever. So it was just like these little blurbs, and it didn't necessarily resonate until I met with you and understood astrology differently. It's super true, though. I'm being very, very honest. I did not understand how important it was to kind of look into, to understand aspects of myself and validate choices that I was making that I knew intuitively were right. But then when you look on my chart, it's like, okay, so I am supposed to do this thing that I'm doing, and at this level or bigger. And this is about to get bigger. And also seeing that those patterns were done, like it's on that chart. What was crazy when I had you and Sue on the last time, I did right after that, I think it was right after that, I did the session with Marilyn Kaufman for a life between lives, where we could, do I have to come back, and have I learned all those lessons that I needed to learn, right? In order to have a healthy relationship. That was the focus of that session, right? Has
Right.
the patterns all finished? But even Sue said by the time, November hits, that person's coming, the pattern's all done, and Marilyn was saying the same thing. So and it all happened, and that's when I met James, was in the
Well, people that
crazy.
know about the spiritual world and that are spiritualists, and they know about energy, and they know about everything, that the spirit world. Um, I think when the shifting of the energy goes up, or I think a lot of it is the people do make the energy rise, you know?
Well, yeah, but it was so important to me, I guess, to be able to see it in that black and white as well too. That to be left brain, because it's numbers, it's math, you can't um, dispute it. It's right there. So
Yes.
that it was validating intuitively what I was picking up, and I appreciate that with astrology.
See, that's what's so cool about it, because whenever any of the divinations validate what you're doing or what path you think, it's wonderful.
Mish is sharing, I feel we only have a fraction of a soul, an essence from something bigger. And that's kind of what I was trying to wrap my head around too, Mish, because, when I have seen, when we're talking about reincarnation, part of, it's part of those soul qualities that are choosing to create a new soul. So it's part of that bigger collective, not why we can that's why we can still tap into our loved ones that are on the other side as well too, but maybe I don't understand it
It's
all.
just so interesting. And I think when you find a passion or a love that you'd like to study, it's not like studying. You can't learn enough.
Yeah,
I don't think you're ever too old to continue learning and studying and finding out things.
yeah. Michelle is sharing, when it comes to coming back, imagine being able to sit under a tree you planted 200 years ago. So many experiences to try that again. I think I'd come back. Agreed, so much potential.
Yeah.
So, but you do talk to people who say that you can come back as an animal, that you can if you have that free will, if you choose, you could go back as an animal. You can reincarnate dimensionally, so you can go to a different dimension if you're wanting to go to a different dimension. So
Isn't that's just fabulous? I mean, just to know all that,
mhm.
to know that. But there are so many divining tools that we are given to assist with that here, with astrology, with, tarot, with yoga, Reiki, and mediums,
Mhm.
and people that are there that can help, and but also to learn.
So I have found more and more people who are not necessarily, would not say that they are intuitive, or that they are a medium in any way, are having more experiences of synchronicities, signs, connections with those in spirit on the other side, more and more people. So is that part of what astrology is showing us,
Yes.
that so I have not thought that there's any veil for a while. There is no veil, but dimensionally we're tapping into those different dimensions more and more. And so those people,
It's coming.
um,
I think it's just going to be even to the point where people will talk without even talking, but their minds, at the soul level, will begin to learn how to do that.
well, that will be freaking great, because I know that some people, like, because I can, my daughter can, we tap in, my one son and I can do that. And there are some people who don't realize that their thoughts are freaking loud. Their thoughts are loud, and you can hear their thoughts. And then you know for sure that what's coming out of their mouth is not what they were thinking 2 minutes prior.
That's coming. I think we'll see Uranus, which is the planet that, Uranus, every planet. Another thing that we had happen is every large planet that moves so very, very slow around the wheel moved. I mean, we are just, like I said, we're seeing things that we've never seen before. It's got to be, we don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's big. And I think especially with Uranus is going to be moving into Gemini, which is going to again speed up the energy. That's where you're going to get mid-April a lot of the UFO stuff. I think we're going to start seeing UFOs and learning about visitors.
I think that's already happening more and more. Like
it's going to explode when Uranus moves into Gemini. It's just going to be off the cuff, and I mean like cars that go around up in space, like no highways. It's just going to be the technology is going to skyrocket. It's going to skyrocket after the summer. I'm guessing, but I think with AI and the cryptocurrency is big with Uranus, the internet, social media, it's all Uranus and Gemini. Gemini is about communication. The way we communicate is going to be different. It's exciting. It's really exciting times. Really a good thing.
Gemini, so I apologize to any Gemini folks that are in the chat. You can call me out if you need to, but Gemini folks have always made me have that stink eye tight butt moment. Like what?
They do what?
Stink eye tight butt. That like what? Frustrate me. Give me, make my eye twitch.
They make your eye twitch?
Yes. Any experiences that I've had with Geminis.
Eye twitch?
Eye twitch. Just me personally. Gonna say it all, but okay. I'm trying to find that comment, Stephanie. Oh, there we go. That is me. That's something I've realized over the last 6 months, so I can tap in on the other side for others. Nothing I ever set out to do, but it is amazing.
That's wonderful.
Transporters, please let there be transporters.
I think it's coming.
With you.
I think it's coming, you guys. I think it's going to, wouldn't that be great? No traffic.
You can be the person you've dealt negatively with. So on a whole, you understand both sides because soul has been both sides. So I think that comes back to the incarnations as well too. I was never interested in knowing my past lives because I've just assumed that I've been all of it. All genders, tall, short, heavy, not heavy. I just assume that I've been all of it.
Well, I think it's been thousands of years. It's not just been like 100 years. I think it's been thousands.
Julie, you and I have not had any issues.
Geminis are the writers. They're ruled by Mercury, so they've got quick minds. They're the student. They're constantly studying. They want to learn. They're the writers, the talkers.
My daughter's a Virgo. She is all Virgo.
Your daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah. God love them.
She's great. I adore her.
I have a Libra, and Libras were the easiest children to raise. My daughter was so easy to raise. Just they just have such a little nice disposition. And then they turn into teenagers.
Teenagers are, again, so it's about learning lessons, right? So if there's contracted lessons that we've agreed to or generational things that we're trying to shift, then it all kind of
see, and that's in a chart as well. It's the chart, the astrology chart every house is an area of your life in a chart. So like the first house is your physical body. That's your rising. Your second house is your money. Your third house is siblings, neighborhood, communication, all forms of communication. Fourth house is your home. Fifth house is your creativity, what you enjoy. So like ball players and athletes, professional athletes, they have a packed fifth house because it's it's what we enjoy when we're children. So they're doing things like that. It's your children too. Sixth house is your health. So it's every area of your life. So that's how you get to know what's kind of where you want to go, where you've been. It's interesting. I think it's interesting.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating. And it does help you understand yourself better while you're making the choices that you are. You're moving in the right direction. As well.
Right. And I think it's one of those things where you learn about accountability too. Because you do have some transits or what have you that you learn how to balance. That's a key. Everything in astrology is balance. You learn.
Right.
If something keeps repeating itself, a good one is relationships. Why do I continually have the same relationship over and over again? Because you didn't learn the lesson. It's called karma. Maybe it's not the person, maybe it's how you are handling the relationship. So it's a lot of accountability on actions. And yeah, that's great, Michelle. It's true. It is a treasure map.
Yeah.
I love that.
Kira, my son and I are both Virgos.
Oh, now, in my multi-million-dollar company, my Capricorn would be the CEO. Guess who would be either my HR director, more than likely HR director, and run the place, like hands-on running, would be a Virgo. Because they're organized. Everything has its place. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's my daughter.
Is that your daughter?
They are micromanagers.
Yeah.
In a positive way. Micromanagers.
They like Post-it notes.
Yes. Yeah. So the little ones with arrows that stick out of all of the book.
Yeah.
Lots of them. Kira's asking, does it make a difference on the chart about whether you are born on the natural day you're supposed to be or if you were induced?
The day that you were actually took your first breath of air. You know what I mean? The exact day. So it doesn't really matter if the natural day or induced. No, you would use the induced day. Whatever day you made your entrance here. We'll get through August, and then we can all kick back in August and say, wow, I think it's going to be really cool to watch. I'm excited to watch this.
Kira's just following through saying, I guess what I'm really asking is if you are induced, does it mess up your chart?
No, because like my son was induced. So I was in labor felt like a week, but same thing. So he was he was born at 10 a.m. and I was induced, but that's the time that you use is the exact, is when he was born.
Oh, Carrie, that's pretty cool too. Thank you for sharing this. Carrie's sharing, I have used a pendulum and dowsing board to get exact time.
Yes. And, this is how I do it with people is look at their rising sign, because your rising sign changes every couple hours. and that sets your personality. So we can narrow it down pretty close within about 2 hours of when somebody was born by their personality traits.
I love that.
Like, like an Aries rising would be very easy to spot because people would say they are impulsive, they talk, they're strong-willed. So you look at different personality traits of the person that's trying to establish their time. There are other ways you can do it. You can look and see when like births happened in your life. You can go back and look through a chart. But I like using the rising sign. It seems to work. And you ask your family or friends about personality traits.
I would ask friends over family. I would not ask family. Personally, I would not.
What?
Ask family about personality.
Oh, stop. Yes, you would.
I'd ask my sister.
You could ask your family, sisters, mothers, partners. They would all know. Friends, they know. You can pretty well narrow it down. Yeah, because a lot of people that even if they were adopted, they do know their date of birth, but they don't have a time.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
So we figure it out. You can figure it out.
And okay, so I've been thinking about another question. So if I saw I guess it was last year about this time for almost 6 months, lots of people passing quickly. Heart attacks, aneurysms, instant. Gone. Lots of them. Like, it was weird to me how many were happening. So do you feel like astrologically that there was something going on during that?
It's usually during eclipse.
It was during eclipse.
Yeah, usually during usually during a lunar eclipse. Not so much a solar eclipse, but a lunar eclipse. And usually if they're on the south node, we will lose a lot of people. It happens. You'll see it. Or there'll be a specific pattern, transit pattern, but it's usually around lunar eclipse.
Interesting.
I know. I mean, I heard of with Chuck Norris. I hate to say this, but with Chuck Norris today, I thought, what's going on up, with astrology? Because it just seems like, the famous people, and then they come like in threes, like people say they do in threes. But we're past the eclipse. Well, February we had eclipses. We're not that far past February, so. But it's usually always around lunar eclipse, famous.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's on the south node, which is loss.
Joni, I've been wanting to ask you because I didn't ask you this personally off air. Did you look into Rob Reiner's son? Did you do
Yes.
that? Did you do a segment on that case?
Yes, I did a whole show on it.
Did you? I'm going to go back and watch it then.
Yeah, I did the whole show. It's really a sad, and I also looked at his natal chart, and I do the mother's natal chart.
You did their
it's all over the chart.
All over the sun's chart or
Yes.
Rob Reiner's chart?
Both, all of them. The whole dynamic was huge. I think, okay.
So do you think that's soul contracts too then?
Yes. I think. Well, do they work? Can they work them out though? It's all about balance. I know this, the son was a Virgo stellium, I think, up in the 10th house.
Stellium.
Stellium means 4 or more planets are in Virgo in his chart. Stelliums can make that person just like has that energy on steroids. We want a chart that's well balanced. We want a lot of water signs. We want earth signs. We want fire. We want a balance of all different kinds of planets all over the chart.
Gotcha.
But when you get a stellium and you've got like 4 or 5 planets, not 5, but 3 or 4 in one area in your chart, you're going to be lopsided with all that energy. And it was up in his 10th house. 10th house is career. It was either 10th or 11th. I can't remember. That's a person that, the sun was putting a lot more on himself than he expected more of himself. He was his worst enemy. He put more pressure on himself to be perfect. Well, guess what? He was the opposite of his dad. So they were opposing. Dad was a Pisces. And the son was, they were just complete opposites. And so there was automatic friction. And then the mother was a Libra. So mom was constantly trying to run around and keep the peace and didn't ever solve anything, just ran around trying to keep the peace and be everybody's friend. And you could see where there was a blow up. And there were a lot of Mars transits that triggered the sun's chart on that night, that particular night. There were some pretty big transits going out around the skies, going around the chart that triggered the chart. I think it was Mars Pluto. And then, if he suffered from mental illness, that's Neptune. And it showed. It's so, is that what he picked? Yeah. That's what I believe, that you pick your own chart and you pick, it's all your choice and maybe he came down here for some particular lesson. I don't know. But, that's the saddest thing. That's one of the sad things I've ever seen. How could you do that to your parents?
Very sad. Who supported him, right?
But apparently he was on a lot of drugs and a schizophrenic. And he wanted certain rehabs that they said, no. So he was never allowed to make his own choice.
How does mental health show up on a chart like that when there is sociopaths, schizophrenia? I guess those are different things, but like, how does that show up on a chart?
Usually it'll show up with Neptune, and it'll be it'll be in a harsh type of an aspect. For example, let's say we've got a person that is a compulsive liar. Okay. Yeah. Compulsive liar. Mercury, which is the planet of communications, will be like square, which is when there's friction between the two planets. Neptune squaring Mercury, because Neptune can be scandals, it can be lies, illusion, delusion, and it's harsh with the planet of communications. So that person can be a lot, a liar, pants on fire. If you've got like,
you see trends like that when you're doing cases, when you're studying cases, do you see patterns like that? So we have somebody who is a serial and a liar.
If that's why I always have had an issue with J.E.'s chart, the one that unalived up in the jail. I've always said to Keith, I'm not sure if I think he might still be alive. I don't know. But
there's a reel going around right now. I'm driving in the car. looks kind of not real to me, that video, but it's certainly making its
It's
round.
funny. The guy that's the real guy that was in the car said it's not. I'm not him. I just look like him. He's from Palm Beach, and he's like, it's not me. He said he went viral. He goes, I'm not him. So, but for example, unaliving, there are markers in a chart. Uranus in the 8th house, Pluto in the 12th house. So there are definite markers that can show up in a chart that can give us a clue.
So what is 8th house and what is 12th house?
The 8th house is the house of transformation. It's a psychic house. It's a house of inheritance, other people's money. But in an event chart for forensic astrology, it's kind of like the end. Not the end, but it's kind of the unaliving. That's one of the houses you'd look to for the unaliving. And then the 12th house is hospitals, mental. 12th house, Neptune into 12th house can give you an indication of maybes, but you're not. You got to be very careful with that because you're not a medical doctor, so you can't look at a chart and say, oh, this person's schizophrenic, but Does
it show up with their relationships with their parents?
Yes.
The mothers?
Mom is the moon and dad is the sun. So yeah, you can see it.
Yeah.
You can see it sometimes. The 4th house is the home.
Hi, Cindy.
Yeah. Hi, Cindy. Yeah, you can see it. You can see. Usually, it's more with the mom because of the moon is the female and the sun would be dad. So you'll look at that show with Rob Reiner because I did a whole thing on it. I did a bunch of
I'm
shows
going
for
to
that.
go back and look at it. And folks, if you are just listening or just trying in, Joni's show is True Crime Mysteries Beyond the Veil. Yep. You do have your own YouTube channel as well too, so yes. you can look that up or through the Rift Nation Network. And look it up that way as well.
Yeah.
What are you working on?
A lot of JE stuff.
Oh, a lot of JE stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's never ending currently, and it's what people feel is triggering all of the change leading up to August. Like everyone feels like that was the catalyst, but they're using it that way for sure. Conspiracy theories.
Yeah, and I've followed that since about 2010, and there's really nothing in those. I mean, there are things in there, but they're going to find out more in New Mexico. But there's no big bombshells in those files. Unfortunately, I don't think so, but I don't know. I think a lot of it's distractions. They're throwing a lot of distractions out at us.
Yes. Mitch, I don't know anything about this. August is also when we lose gravity for 7 seconds.
Our maintenance guy told us that too. And I said, what happens when you lose gravity? What are you supposed to do? Hang on to a door handle? Everybody's supposed to float up in space.
For 7 seconds.
Yeah, but what do you do if you're in your house? Do you get stuck like at the ceiling? What happens? I think you get stuck at like going up to the ceiling. Boy, and then you'd be at the top of your ceiling just floating, and when it stops, you just fall and hit the floor. I guess.
House floats.
Hang on to something. Oh, the house floats?
So,
Lord.
But all of this stuff, like, it's like when 2000 was coming, everybody didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. What was that? Y2K.
Y2K, yeah.
What date in August is this gravity thing supposed to happen? I'll look up a chart. What date is that?
Do you know which date?
Yeah, August.
Carrie, did you see the chart that Joni showed at the beginning of for July 19th?
Yeah.
July 19th and 20th, and it's crazy when you look at it, and that's leading into August.
Yeah.
So 7th, but she'll double check.
I wonder if that has something to do the July with the no gravity thing. So we all float, like the house floats too.
She's saying 7th or the 12th.
What happens to when it stops? What happens when the gravity goes back to normal?
The 12th of August.
Is it supposed to go back to normal and then the house drops back down? What if you're in your car? Your car will just be...
Yeah, Cindy is saying don't be driving that day.
So trees are going to be... So trees will be going up in the air. So what do you got? What do you do?
I had never heard of this.
Yeah. We're supposed to lose gravity or something.
Why are we supposed to lose gravity?
I don't know. The maintenance guy told me about it. I just went, oh, okay. I said, I'll hang on to the door handle.
I've got the tools, I can just move through it. So I just focus on what do I need to do in this moment. I really do every day. What do I need to do in this moment? And sometimes even folks, when I am like having to deal with a whole bunch of emails, I'm like this, and I just like, I can handle this one and I'm covering up the rest of them so that I can't see them, so that I don't get overwhelmed or go crazy.
I know. I hear you. I hear you, sis.
Trees are rooted. They should be fine.
Trees are rooted. They should be fine. Okay, so you go out and you grab onto a tree.
Well, I think we should all be hugging trees daily anyway.
Oh, I do too. I'm going to go pick out my gravity tree in the backyard. I wonder if that's on a weekend.
I think I'm on holidays. I think on the 12th I'm actually on holidays, so that'll be awesome.
Go to the beach.
No, I don't like sweating.
Oh, go to the beach.
Keith is saying something about 2 gravitational forces meeting here at Earth on this day, supposedly canceling all planets' gravity.
Oh, so it's August the 12th. Oh, it's on a Wednesday. You watch it start happening in the middle of my show, and then all of a sudden everything will start going up in the air.
I think as long as it's on film, I think that'd be fabulous.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, as long as you get it on camera. As long as you get everything on camera, that's good.
Well, I'll get stuck up in the
paranormal. Get it on camera.
Oh no, the house will be going up in the air. But I'll just run outside with my phone and grab onto a tree. I don't think that's going to happen.
Mish is saying, I honestly feel we are having a space things affecting Earth, and they will use pyramids to help protect.
Very well could be. The pyramids, I've been in them, and they've got a really weird energy. It's a wonderful energy, but it's different. It's
alien.
It's what?
Alien.
Could be. I know I could stand up and go down the steps. That if you're 5'2", you don't have to bend over.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. So yeah. I agree, Carrie. It's a total shift. I think it's a complete shift with.
Yes.
And I don't even believe that there's much. I don't believe that there's a veil. I believe that more people will have clarity after that astrological shift. Just more people having the clarity.
I don't think they're really removing the veil from your eyes. Your eyes, your physical. I think it's great. It's something's going to happen. We're going to have to regroup after August 12th and see what happened.
So Do you think it was a meteor that landed in Ohio?
I think it was. I'll find out. I didn't even know it happened.
Yeah, apparently it was a big boom in like 2 different states heard it.
Yeah. And you know, right where it landed, they're having Bigfoot sightings up in Ohio.
Yeah, leading up to more and more.
Bigfoot came out to catch the rock.
Technology in us on the earth. Thank you, Carrie. There is the veil. It's technology in us. So
Yes.
so if that technology is, so where does that, for people who are having more awareness than others?
Yes. People are, you know, I don't know about up there, up in Canada, but there's a lot of churches have never had an attendance like they have now. A lot of people are turning to spirituality or religion or whatever they want to. I think it's great.
Carrie is sharing, yes, Galactic's mission to reignite the Atlantean pyramid. So that came up in my Life Between Lives session that I had with Marilyn.
Wouldn't that be cool if they did do that? Wouldn't that be cool if that did happen? I would be excited. I think it would be great to have visitors.
Yeah.
I would ask them if they would take me to Florida. It would only take a couple minutes. Think about it. I'll pack a little bag, drop me off at the beach.
Oh, I was thinking about you. Look at that was the pen I grabbed. Look.
Oh, I'll come pick you up.
Okay.
I'll have the aliens come pick you up.
I think that's okay. We need to be mindful of our time.
Okay.
Talk about your candles. So I have 2 minutes. Candles. Did you bring your candles?
No, well, I'm making them now. I'm making them now for people to help them with the different energies. For example, if you're a Uranus, I'm making a Uranus candle now. I'll post it on Facebook when it's done with the energies. You know, I'm going to use white on the bottom. Okay, black is going to be the top, a little layer of black, the energies of the planet, and then the bottom will be white. So we're going to burn off a lot of the negative funk, bring in the energy of the planet for people to manifest or to use the energy. Think about it. And then bring in something really sweet and positive to end it and close it out.
I hope you and your granddaughter get the merch stuff going soon because she's got some great ideas. She's fabulous.
She's an Aries.
I love it. My best friend is an Aries, and she's a go-getter for sure. Okay, folks, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Please consider joining Astrology the Series. Take advantage of all of the information. Joni is so gracious and kind in sharing and helping us learn more about astrology. Tune in to Keith's show as well too. So Keith's show is the Otterson on Mondays, Monday nights. Joni and Keith talk about what's going on astrologically.
Yes.
And then your show on Wednesday, True Crime Beyond the Veil.
True Crime, 8 p.m. on Rift.
Next week, folks, Richard Estep is coming on. I'm so excited. I have wanted him on since I started the show, so he's coming on next week. So please join us in the chat next week. Thank you, Joe Montaldo, the owner of our network, Michelle DeRoche, our network manager. I appreciate all of you. Thank you to the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 in the Gulf Coast, 107.7 FM in New Orleans. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Good night.